So far, President Putin appears unmoved by the warnings from President Biden and other NATO leaders, and that's leading to questions about whether a conflict is really inevitable here and what's fueling his possible plans to invade. Holly Williams is in Ukraine for us with more on that part of the story. Holly, good morning to you.
Good morning. While the Ukrainian government continues to urge calm, the country's defense minister told Ukrainians yesterday, don't worry, sleep well. But a 79-ton plane load of military equipment tells a somewhat different story. In Kyiv last night, a delivery of nearly 300 Javelin anti-tank missiles and other munitions. This is just the latest shipment in $200 million worth of emergency military assistance from the US. But even with American help, Ukraine is still massively outgunned and outnumbered by its giant neighbour. With around 100,000 Russian troops massed on its border, Ukraine's fate may be in the hands of just one man, Russia's President Vladimir Putin. But what is it that he really wants? Putin grew up in the USSR and worked as a KGB agent.
He wants Russia to become like the Soviet Union again. The most important thing for him is controlling the situation.
Mikhail Khodorkovsky is a Russian businessman and very public critic of Putin. He was convicted on corruption charges that many believe were politically motivated. After 10 years in prison, he now lives in exile.
It's criminal boss. You need to talk with him like with criminal boss.
Khodorkovsky claims that Putin's attempts to recreate a Russian empire are a way of distracting ordinary Russians from their economic hardship. He believes Putin's main goals are staying in power and enriching himself and his friends.
It sounds like what you're saying is that Vladimir Putin is the Tony Soprano of world politics.
Exactly. I've said this to Western politicians time and time again. You're dealing with a mafia boss. If you want advice on how to talk to Vladimir Putin, ask your police.
Just to remind you, this crisis started because Russia started moving tens of thousands of its troops to Ukraine's border. Yet Russia still maintains that it's the victim, threatened by alleged aggression from the US and NATO. Now, some say what's really going on is that Vladimir Putin does not want yet another pro-Western country next door and instead wants Ukraine to become some kind of puppet state. And he's using the threat of those troops to try to frighten Ukraine into obedience and to force the US and its allies to just let him have what he wants. Nate?
Holly Williams in Ukraine, thank you so much.